This video is Intermediate Lifter's Guide to Warming Up. First things first, I just want to say well done for clicking on this video. You have a top 1% attention span and just click on a long form unedited guide rather than some 10,000 calorie challenge or top 5 gym hacks, although I'll try to make it as interesting as I can. In this video, we're going to cover how to improve blood flow throughout your workout, mobility and range of motion, how to increase your temperature and maintain it, pre-activation of type 1, type 2 muscle fibers, CNS activation, and timing of nutrition. Things like your pre-workouts, caffeine, creatine, beta-alanine, etc. Now, why should you listen to me? I've been training for 8 years. This is me before I started lifting. First picture is 1 month of training. Second picture is after I made a bunch of mistakes and got big in the wrong way. And over time, I'm able to refine my training, refine my diet as well. So what I look like right now, I've got a decent back, I'm fairly lean, and I've studied sports science in college in Newcastle, as well as did my own research over the past 8 years of training for my own personal benefit. And I'm going to give you all the information that I gained regards to warming up in this video. So I'm going to really cover why you should warm up, because every single person I train with does not warm up. I don't know why. Men and women, every time I train with someone, they're like, oh, come on, do we have to? So your muscles are basically asleep before you start training. You don't have much blood flow, you aren't quite fully activated. And when you go into a workout without warming up properly, the first 2 exercises, your body isn't quite primed. So you basically are doing junk volume. Not junk volume, but you're doing sets and reps that you're not really getting the most out of because your body isn't ready. It's still not lifting the weight it can. It's not going to the intensity that it usually is able to push itself if you don't warm up. As well, you want to mentally transition your body from whatever mood you're currently in into training mode. So let's say you just finished work, you're in the office. You need to switch your brain and CNS from office mode into training mode. And when you warm up, you put on your gym clothes, you do a bit of cardio, do some stretches. All this stuff sends signals to your neuron system to let your brain know, oh, okay, it's training time. It's time to push myself, train hard, and output all my limits, etc. Plus, you're probably not training hard enough. And this isn't a dig at you. Most people don't, including myself. Because the muscle building process, if you think about it, you're breaking down your muscles fiber by fiber and letting them rebuild stronger by sleeping and eating the right nutrition. So if you're literally tearing yourself apart for you to grow, it doesn't make sense that it'd be very, very painful. Because in reality, unless you're training extremely hard, like you're grunting, making ugly faces, you probably aren't training hard enough. Now, of course, do maintain good form and train in the right rep range, but intensity is very important. And if you don't warm up, you're not going to be able to output that much intensity. Plus, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chris Bumstead, CR7, every single athlete in the world warm up. So it doesn't make sense. If you want to look like these guys, you would do the common denominator that they all have, which is that they warm up. Because bro, most intermediate lifters, for some reason, they think they're too good to warm up. Like, yeah, bro, I know my body, I have good muscle connection, rah, rah, rah. But these guys have good muscle connection and they still warm up. So I think it's a bit of arrogance as well. Some people think they're too good for warming up. So to summarize, warm up. So first things first is blood flow. So without blood flow, there is no pump, no muscle connection, and you have a very bad workout. So to increase blood flow, all you gotta do is do 2 to 3 minutes of cardio to increase your heart rate and end it with 5 to 10 seconds of high intensity cardio. So let's say you're in treadmill, you're just doing like 2-3 minutes, which feel like a 6 out of 10. The last 5-10 seconds, just go all out, just go like a very quick sprint. What you'll find is that when you're warming up, this right here is the sweet spot where you want your heart rate to be. If you go below it, it might take your body some time throughout the workout to get to it and it's not going to be able to be as efficient. But if you go over it, your heart rate is a little bit too high, beyond the optimal range. It'll automatically regulate itself in a few seconds to that sweet spot that needs to be at. So by doing this, you just guarantee that you are warm enough for the workout, because you'll either be too hot than too cold, because then what happens is your body will just stay in that reduced blood flow state. And also avoid meals too close to your workout and consume your final meal before your workout 30 minutes before your main session. Because there's food in your stomach, your body will send blood towards your stomach in order to help it with digestion. And that's not where you want the blood to be. You want it to be inside your muscles. You want to have all that creatine, all that nutrition go towards it to fuel it up. You want to get the glycogen pump. You don't want it to be in your stomach because then you feel bloated, lethargic, you kind of aren't able to output that much physical energy, and you look worse, so you feel worse because your pump isn't as good, and so yeah, just avoid meals too close to your workout. And temperature. So temperature is very similar. Just obviously doing your cardio will help to increase your temperature that 2 to 3 minutes. But then it also, when your body's high temperature, not only does it maintain blood flow, but it maintains focus as well. It just keeps you in that flow state, in that athlete mode. So to maintain temperature throughout your workout is to keep moving. Just make sure that you don't rest for too long. If you are resting between sets, just do some light stretches. Don't just stay static for too long of periods. Don't rest too long as well, and wear something long sleeve / thick during your workout. I wanted to mention this because I've been wearing hoodies and long sleeve jumpers during my session, and they have been a game changer. My body is usually very cold, so by adding that in, I was able to get much higher quality in my workouts. And then we have mobility and range of motion. Now, every lifter out there, both bro scientists like the Trent Twins or gym scientists like Jeff Nephart or Mike Israetel, all of them believe in the importance of range of motion. For you to get the most out of your exercise, you need to have the most range of motion. So less ROM literally just means less gains. And your joints and tendons are very stiff and tight before a workout, especially if you train early in the morning and you just woke up. So it's very important to do some sort of mobility and range of motion work before your workout so you can get a deeper stretch, which will give you more gains. No higher ROM, deeper stretch, more gains. Now, what should you do? All I recommend you do is use a resistance band for 10 to 15 reps per stretch. Let's say you're doing shoulders and you do some shoulder stuff. Get the resistance band, pull towards you, do this for like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. 15. Again, it's fast paced, just loosening it up and helping to increase blood flow and lubricate these joints. And it will also let your body send synovial fluid to those joints so that they are more efficient and can get that range of motion. If you're training lower body, use a foam roller. For upper body, it's not that important unless you're doing deadlifts, but if you are doing lower body, foam roller is an absolute game changer. It keeps your muscles super tender, super warm. It sounds like I'm talking about food, like yeah, keep it tender. It gives your muscles very primed to work out because it just helps promote blood flow at a very good level. And hanging from a bar as well will allow you to decompress your spine, which in turn will also loosen up your shoulders. Fun fact, a content creator by the name of Alex Hamosi, he has some issues with his shoulder, and he went to every single shoulder specialist on the planet, and he spent like tens of thousands of dollars on this. And they told him that hanging from a bar, he found that simply hanging from a bar is the most efficient thing you can do for your shoulder health. So for every workout, just 30 seconds, hang from a bar, and you'll be good to go. Oh, last thing, if you are doing leg day as well, I would highly recommend for your warm-up to either use a sled, just push it forward and then pull it backwards, or walk backward on a treadmill at a fast pace. These things just really help to lubricate your joints and specifically your knees, which in turn will reduce the risk of injury by a huge margin. Now, action step, go on YouTube and research resistance band mobility drills. Obviously you can do foam rollers as well, but just have something ready for your next workout so that, okay, when it's time to do shoulders or legs, you have an idea of what to do. If you want to get the most out of this guide, I do highly recommend you implement these action steps. Now, you have pre-activation of type 1 and type 2 muscle fibers. With this, what you want to do is, with type 1, you want to do a pyramid warm-up, which you probably are already doing, where you start with 50% of your main working weight for 8 reps, then 75% for 4 reps for the first exercise. So let's say you're doing incline press, you're doing 30 kilos, you start off with 15 kilos for 8 reps, then 22.5 kilos for 4 reps, then go on to your main weight. That will help to activate the type 1 muscle fibers, the type that grow when training in the high rep range. But if you are training a muscle that composed of type 2 muscle fibers or is both type 1 and type 2, you want to incorporate some sort of explosiveness as well. This will allow you to fire up those muscle fibers when it comes to doing your workouts. So a good way to do that is if you're doing legs, just do some jumping squats, just like 10 reps, just really quickly, and that will help to fire up those muscle fibers. Or if you're doing upper body, you can do some push-ups, but like jumping push-ups, where you essentially are in a push-up position, you push your body up and repeat. You can do clapping push-ups as well. I just find clapping push-ups has a lot of tension on the shoulders when I do it, so I go up and move really fast. But I find if you do that without the clap, you're able to get the benefits of firing up your muscle fibers while also avoiding any risk of injury in your shoulder. And finally, you can do a pre-exhaust. Now, a pre-exhaust is basically where before you do a compound lift, let's say you're about to do squats or about to do, let's do squats, you might do a few reps of leg extension before the squat. So you do 8 reps leg extension, just an exercise where you can truly feel the muscle activating. Then when you go to do squats, you're able to put your body in a position where your quads, where your quadriceps are the most engaged. Similar with chest, if you're doing a bench press, but for some reason, whenever you bench, you just cannot feel your chest activating, then you might start off with doing 1 set of pec flies, just really squeezing the muscle, really feeling it activating, and then moving on into your incline press. And what that will do, it'll make sure that when you're doing bench or incline press or whatever exercise it is, you're able to position your body in the way where your chest is the most activated and just really help maximize those gains in that one body part you're trying to grow. This is especially important if you are doing a prioritization plan, because with those plans, where you're trying to grow 1 or 2 muscle groups specifically, it's important to target them as well as possible. Plus, it helps you to build a good mind-muscle connection, which in the long run will help you just get much better results. Now, lastly, we have CNS activation, which is not really often spoke about. It sounds very intimidating, but it's really not. CNS is short for central nervous system, and your CNS is in charge of recruiting muscle fibers and contracting your muscles as well as control of balance. So as you can imagine, CNS is literally in charge of the rep itself and the form of the rep. So it's easily the most important thing when it comes to the workout. Now, the main way to activate your CNS is by having caffeine. Caffeine will fire up your CNS by such a high level, as well as maintaining an elevated body temperature throughout your workout. If your body gets too cool, your CNS begins to slowly shut down. Now, your CNS will never be at a 0 or 100. It's never going to be completely shut or completely active. Now, the main thing that activates your CNS are caffeine. Having coffee or a pre-workout will massively fire up your CNS, especially if you train early in the morning, as well as maintaining an elevated body temperature. If you let it cool down too long, what happens is your body will just begin to go out of that workout mode that I mentioned earlier. Sleep also plays a big role in CNS activation. Having a good night of sleep is so crucial for your health of your CNS as well as health in general. But main reason is your CNS is in charge, not just contracting muscles, but also in charge of sending signals throughout your body, of processing your thoughts. And when you have a bad night's sleep, what happens is your CNS is trying to compensate for other bodily functions. Like you might have a bad night's sleep, you have brain fog, so your CNS is trying extra hard to improve your brain capacity and doesn't have as much energy to give towards your workouts. And if you do that over a long period of time, you can imagine, let's say you have a bad night's sleep, followed by another. Your CNS is so stretched out and it's trying to do so many things at once that it doesn't really have much to give towards your session. But if you fix that and get consistent good nights of sleep, what happens is your CNS will be in prime condition, prime health, and the quality of your workouts will skyrocket, as well as just have significantly more energy throughout the day. So again, I would highly recommend you prioritize your sleep, because sleep is the best pre-workout you can have. It will have such huge tremendous on your sessions. Also, consume healthy fats for long-term CNS health. Things like your omega-3, avocados, etc. If you have those consistently over a long period of time, your CNS health and function will massively increase, which in turn, like I mentioned, gives you much higher quality training sessions. Now, timing of nutrition. Like I mentioned, for meals, have it max 30 minutes before your workout. Ideally, it's 1 hour. That's what I find is my sweet spot. But experiment, use one best for you. I would recommend, if anything more than 30 minutes, just wait it out. Just even if you're in a rush, at that point, I might just consider calling a rest day, because you don't want that blood flowing to your stomach. If it's like a big bowl of pasta or something, then you just shouldn't bother. And then you have caffeine / pre-workout, so coffee, pre's, etc. I'd recommend a few minutes before your main warm-up. I would usually have mine, let's say I'm going to the gym, I go there by bus. If my bus is 1 or 2 stops away, that's when I drink it. So by the time I finish warming up, that caffeine and pre would have fully kicked in. And I generally recommend coffee over pre-workouts. I find pre-workout doesn't give you the best ROI in the long run. It gives you brain fog, and a lot of brands have a bunch of filler ingredients. And coffee, just one ingredient, caffeine, and it's by far the most important substance. All the other stuff like your L-citrulline and beta-alanine, they kind of help, but you're better off just buying that single ingredient and mixing with your coffee, and you'll find that it's surprisingly cheaper as well. And creatine, I must have mentioned this because people have asked me this in the past. It does not matter when you take it. With creatine, you want to have it in your system, so 1 scoop per day. As when in the day you should have it, it makes zero effect. I have it before my workout for the placebo effect. Just more powder equals more gains. Like just, you know, you feel like you're more prepared or you're more primed. And yeah, but in reality, it really does not matter when you take it. Now, if you DM me on Instagram, Mr. Ben Saud, the word warm up, and I'll give you my exact personal warm up routine that I use for upper and lower body. Again, it's free, it's a document, I'll give it to you. If you like one-to-one online coaching, link will be in the description. Please like and subs. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the month, so anything will be appreciated. Any questions, leave a comment. Channel isn't that big, so I'll surely be able to get back to you. And yeah, as usual, thank you for your time and attention. It's a valuable resource. Thank you for giving it to me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.